This is southeastern Simi Valley in Southern California. It is comprised by the city of Simi and an unincorporated area of Ventura County known as the Santa Susana Knolls, or Knolls for short. The Knolls, as the name implies, is nestled amongst the rocky outcroppings at the base of the Santa Susana mountain range. This section of the mountain range consists of a series of high rocky ridges separated by inhabited valleys. The interesting feature of these ridges is that they are parallel and aligned along a northeast to southwest axis. The Santa Ana winds that prevail in this area during fire season also follow the same alignment. They run very parallel to the direction of the ridges of these mountains. These are the Southern Pacific Tracts, which separates the city from the Knolls. The tracks disappear into a tunnel at the base of the Santa Susana Pass. This is approximately the area of the pass. The Reagan Freeway, also known as the 118, runs through the pass and is the only major route in or out of eastern Simi Valley. Here is the at-grade crossing of Katherine Road and the Southern Pacific Tracts. The Colton Lee Development project is located just to the southwest of this intersection. Colton Lee Development proposes to make Katherine Road South, which runs along the base of the mountain to the south and exits onto Santa Susana Pass Road, the secondary access or emergency exit for its high-density development in this area. But now back to our story about the Topanga Fire. Late morning on September 28, 2005, a wildfire broke out in Chatsworth in the San Fernando Valley just over the pass from Simi Valley. By early afternoon, the fire had engulfed the pass. The CHP closed the 118 and the Santa Susana Pass Road to all traffic. This is important, but a necessary decision, which would have unintended consequences in a few hours. Meanwhile, the fire in the pass overwhelmed a historic home at the intersection of the Santa Susana Pass Road and Box Canyon. A short distance downhill, a freight train on the Southern Pacific Tracts is halted, straddling the at-grade crossing of Katherine Road and the tracks. This was because the fire had overtaken the tunnel entrances on both sides of the pass. With normal commuter routes from the San Fernando Valley closed, commuters began using Box Canyon and Black Canyon to try to get home. In a matter of a few minutes, the heavy traffic on these two roads spilled into the southbound lanes, creating gridlock and trapping most of the residents of Black Canyon and Box Canyon in their driveways. Meanwhile, a second freight train arrives and stops behind the first train. Panicky Knolls residents and commuters trying to get around the blockage at the railroad crossing began pouring out onto Katherine Road South. But they run into first responders and a closed pass road because the fire was just a few hundred feet up the Santa Susana Pass Road and coming directly at them. Because of the shape of the mountainous terrain, every fire that reaches the pass on a Santa Ana wind day will take the same route that the Topanga Fire took on September 28, 2005. The Topanga Fire of 2005 shows us clearly that Katherine Road cannot be a secondary access or an emergency exit for the Colton Lee High Density Development Project, because it forces all traffic into the direction of the oncoming flames. It doesn't matter how wide Katherine Road is, whether it's widened to 2 lanes or 4 lanes, it will send all its traffic directly into oncoming flaming catastrophe. Consequently, Katherine Road South fails to meet the requirements of a secondary access road, and therefore the Colton Lee Development high-density application must logically be denied.